Kayla Timpson, who is doing her thing. Speak about the GOAT, Caitlin Clark. We all know Caitlin Clark is set to have an MVP season in year 3 after returning from injury. Michaela Timpson had a quote about Caitlin Clark that is very, very interesting that we have to get into. And
Caitlin Clark has officially become the most powerful force in women's basketball, and the league's veterans are panicking. While certain co-founders quietly play both sides with their new startup league, a massive conflict of interest is coming into focus. What was supposed to challenge the WNBA is now unraveling in real time. The attempt to steal attention and control is backfiring, and this power struggle has hit a breaking point nobody expected. So what's really going on here? Is Unrivaled genuinely trying to help players? Or is it a calculated move to undermine the WNBA, while Caitlin Clark holds all the leverage? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Caitlin Clark's a great teammate. Pretty much everybody. This ain't a Chicago Sky situation where Courtney Vandersloot got to go on camera and defend herself because somebody said something they weren't supposed to and all this other.
We've got young gun Michaela Timpson out here telling the unfiltered truth about the GOAT, Caitlin Clark. It's funny how the narrative flips the moment people actually have to share the floor with her instead of taking shots from the sidelines. Timpson just confirmed what anyone paying attention already knows. Caitlin is the ultimate teammate. She's funny, she's grounded, and she's handling a level of pressure that would have most of these Unrivaled founders folding instantly.
I love her. The thing she's able to control and that she doesn't show. I couldn't imagine going through the stuff she goes through, but she stays strong. Now, that's just kind of referring to the spotlight. Everything you do is being talked about, is under a microscope. Every missed shot, every made shot.
Give me a break. You really think a startup league is about to replace the premier women's basketball organization in the world? That's laughable, but it's the kind of laugh that ends with a bad taste in your mouth. We've been calling this a conflict of interest for months, and now the fans are finally picking up on the desperation. You cannot co-found a rival league while sitting on the WNBA board and expect people not to question your intentions. That's like being the CEO of Pepsi while holding a board seat at Coca-Cola, and then acting confused when everyone side-eyes you the moment things start going south.
Earlier, if there is no 2026 WNBA season, does Unrivaled decide, like, we're going to do a pop-up league somewhere? Do they extend their season? Do they start building out a second season? Like, there are always a million different ideas that it does seem like the everyday fan is thinking about too, you know?
And to say for the record, and this is how I feel, I don't think that Breonna Stewart and Afisa Collier are actively trying to sabotage the WNBA.
About if there's no 2026 WNBA season, Unrivaled's thought process and plans for this. And this is why they can't get mad that we've been saying this whole thing with them running Unrivaled, being co-founders, but also being on the WNBA board is a conflict of interest. Is conversations and things like this on why they can't get mad that we're saying it's a conflict of interest.
They keep insisting they're not double agents trying to undermine the WNBA. Fine, then let's talk facts. These veterans are pushing for a CBA that demands everything all at once, not because it's best for the league long term, but because they know the clock is ticking on their own careers. This isn't about building the future. It's about cashing out before the Caitlin Clark era fully takes over. They want the bag now because they won't be around to benefit from the growth they claim to care so deeply about. And then there's the schedule. The WNBA drops the 2026 slate, and suddenly players are acting shocked online. Why are venues booked if there's no deal? Because the league is prepared to move forward without you. That schedule was a message. The arenas are ready, the fans are coming, and the product doesn't stop because a few veterans want leverage. If they choose to sit out and play in a boutique-side league, fine. The WNBA still has Caitlin Clark. It has Angel Reese. Paige Buchers is coming. Juju Watkins is coming. The most popular players on the planet are on rookie contracts. Let's be honest, if veterans strike, does viewership actually drop? People aren't tuning in for labor negotiations. They're tuning in for logo threes. The league knows it. The networks know it. And the moment that schedule went live, it was checkmate. Take Michaela Timpson, for example. With Natasha Howard likely out, Timpson's minutes are about to explode. She's athletic, she runs the floor, and crucially, she actually enjoys playing with Caitlin. That's the future. Not gatekeeping, not resentment, not prioritization rules so vets can juggle overseas contracts and 3 leagues at once. Fans just want elite basketball without a lockout looming over every game. Unrivaled is being sold as player empowerment, but in reality it's a safety net for a select few, and the rest of the league is being used as leverage. If Unrivaled were truly the future, its ratings wouldn't have created the moment the novelty wore off. The truth is simple. It doesn't have Caitlin Clark. She turned it down. Twice. She knows where the real stage is. Calling WNBA leadership the worst in the world is laughable when that same leadership just secured an 11-year, $2 billion media deal and has expansion teams paying $250 million just to get in the door. Maybe the leadership isn't the problem. Maybe the problem is players who think they're bigger than the product they benefit from. The equity argument tells on itself. Unrivaled offers equity because it needs people to care. The WNBA doesn't. Asking for a 50-50 revenue split in the league's first true boom cycle is like demanding a promotion on day one because the company stock went up. The veterans saw Caitlin's rookie year ratings and thought, that's my money. No, that's her audience. If there's number 2026 season, Caitlin Clark will be just fine. She can disappear for a year, film commercials, and come back richer than ever. The middle-tier veterans pushing hardest for a strike, they lose everything: platform, sponsorships, relevance. This pop-up league isn't a revolution. It's a backup plan for players who know they're about to be replaced. Timpson's comments stand out because there's no bitterness in them. She's just a hooper. She sees the work. She sees the talent. She wants to build. That's how leagues grow. Not by lighting the building on fire and pretending it's a renovation. The schedule release was the ultimate FAFO moment. It told everyone, the court is reserved, the tickets are selling, and the fans will show up, with or without you. Unrivaled's Year 2 struggles prove you can't build a league on spite or exclusion. You definitely can't build one by pretending Caitlin Clark isn't the engine driving the sport. The leverage they thought they had was an illusion. They tried to slow the momentum and forgot they're no longer driving the bus. Caitlin Clark is. The rookies are the engine. The veterans are passengers trying to grab the wheel. Unrivaled made sense as an off-season option. The moment it became a weapon against the WNBA, it lost its soul. It turned into a vanity project for people realizing they're no longer the main attraction. So keep the equity. Keep the pop-up games. Fans will be watching the WNBA, watching Caitlin Clark, and watching the league grow, with or without those trying to hold it back. The irony is brutal. In trying to be unrivaled, they made themselves very replaceable. The model is simple. Put the best players on the court. Let them play. Caitlin Clark is doing her part. Michaela Timpson is doing hers. The 2026 season is coming whether the old guard likes it or not.